Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to day 2 of our global technology event. I trust you enjoyed yesterday's sessions. Today we have an exciting lineup of presentations, and allow me to kick things off with everybody's favorite topic, large assembly. In the next 30 minutes, I will convince you that 2023 is the year to upgrade. And I'm not just talking about SOLIDWORKS, because there are 3 essential components for maximizing your productivity as a user or as a team: hardware, software, and the user. I'm going to share with you the result of my research working with one large assembly and improving on the hardware, improving on the software, also improving on the user. In January, when I opened that assembly in SOLIDWORKS 2022, I was very pleased to see 8 minutes and 43 seconds for loading it fully resolved. Surprise, surprise. Yesterday, when I loaded the same assembly, also fully resolved with absolutely no changes in geometry, no simplifications whatsoever, I'm opening in 1 minute and 48 seconds. What's the difference? So allow me to tell you the whole story behind this incredible improvement. So it's about 80% improvement in open time. And also I'm going to show you the improvements in decreasing the lag when graphic computations are completed. So let's take a look at the 3 critical factors for maximizing your productivity when working with large assemblies. One is the hardware, making sure that you have the right hardware to maximize your performance. And I believe again that 2023 is the year to get that upgrade. Software, talking about operating system, I'm talking about SOLIDWORKS. So I'm going to demonstrate with numbers how much of a difference SOLIDWORKS 2023 is going to make in your productivity when working with large assemblies. And equally important, or even more important than the other 2, upgrading the user. Let's see. If you do all these 3 things right, you're going to be in the sweet spot where the stars are aligned and you have maximum speed when working with your assemblies. Don't take my word for it. Let's see if I can convince you. First of all, I selected a file set that I know is going to tax the CPU for both the single core capabilities and multi-core capabilities. So you can see it's a really crazy file. Once I have this assembly inserted into a higher level assembly, everything usually stops to a crawl or slows down to a crawl. Lots of lagging, long opening times. And if you might wonder, who am I to do this type of test and convince you that the numbers are right? Just Google my name. You're going to see that myself and my team, have been in the large assembly productivity business for 10 plus years. Lots of presentations, a SOLIDWORKS world, a 3D experience world, thousands of consulting hours with individual companies. Probably I have already been working with you or your team. I wrote the large assembly and drawing workshop, which I strongly recommend you attend to learn more about what you can do with large assemblies. So I personally completed all the tests that you're going to see in the next few slides. Let's start with the hardware and why I think 2023 is the year to upgrade. First of all, let's understand how SOLIDWORKS is taxing the hardware. This is the typical chart showing how an assembly opens. Also, if you remove the first phase, you have the rebuild process of an assembly. You can see that quite a few of these phases are single-threaded. So what's important is to have a CPU that has a turbo speed that is as fast as possible. You can see these 3 phases are single-threaded, and during both the opening but also during the update, that's going to tax the CPU performance. 2 of the phases are multi-threaded, especially the computation of the graphic triangles is actually done by the CPU, not by the video card. So again, it's very important to have multiple core high performance. At TriMech, training and process consultants are getting new laptops every 2 years. So usually when I'm getting a new one, this year I got it in January, I have about a week when both of them are sitting on my desk. And this is where I compare the performance. So for example, the file that I showed you, I open it on both. I made sure that the settings are exactly the same on both laptops. Usually I see an increase in performance of about 5-10% due to hardware. So yeah, it's an incremental improvement. This year, I was floored. And notice that the two systems that I'm comparing are not even the latest. So this is 5560's last year Dell Precision laptop. If you're looking at the hardware, the main thing that got changed is the CPU. It's still an i7. Actually, the base frequency is lower than before. Turbo, it's a little bit higher, so you wouldn't think is that much of a difference. A much better video card. Well, something has happened in the way Dell put these workstations together because the results were astonishing for me. You can see I open the assembly with the old computer and SOLIDWORKS recorded how long the opening took. And I did it multiple times. And then I open it again with the new computer. The results were astonishing, almost 25% faster with the 5560 compared to 5540. Not only that, so this is opening time. What about reducing lag in operations? So let's take a look at the graphic computation, which again is done by the CPU. 3 seconds plus for the older machine and 2.4 seconds for the newer machine. And 22% increase in performance. That tells you something is going on with the hardware. The good news is that Dell and TriMac partner to bring the best hardware solutions to you. As clients of TriMac, you have access to the Dell Expert Network, where you're gonna find workstations that have been specified by TriMac for maximum productivity when working with CAD, SOLIDWORKS, or 3D experience. And you're gonna find some crazy discounts. So maybe take a screenshot of this QR code and take a look at the amazing workstations that Dell and TriMac prepared for you. And that was in January. So hardware really worth upgrading this year. What about the software? Now, I shared these results with Dell, and Dell sent me a newer laptop, an even faster machine. Unfortunately, I couldn't use the comparison with the old machine, so you're gonna see the numbers though improving as I show you the next numbers. The first thing I did, I installed SOLIDWORKS. The computer came with Windows 10 installed, and I ran the same tests. And then I upgraded the computer to Windows 11 and repeated the same tests. Okay? Let's take a look. So when I say upgrading the software, we're gonna compare the operating system. We're gonna compare actually the two versions of SOLIDWORKS, the old one, the 2022, and the new one, 2023. And we're gonna focus again on those two measurables, large assembly open time and graphic computation time. Also, we're gonna talk about a few other enhancements that are included in SOLIDWORKS 2023 that are directly relevant to large assembly performance. You probably have seen some of this yesterday in the What's New in SOLIDWORKS presentation. So I'm not gonna go that deep, but we will incorporate all these new tools, techniques in our training classes. As I mentioned, the latest workstation that I have, it's also a laptop. Same line as the other two. It's just that now it's using an i9 processor, which actually has 14 cores, still only 6 are performance, 8 are efficient cores. And I found out that this makes a world of difference in Windows 11. Let's take a look at the results. So right now we just compared two operating systems, nothing else. Both tests are using SOLIDWORKS 2022 Service Pack 3.1. That was the software, the service pack that was available when I did that upgrade, sometimes in June, I believe. So this is Windows 10, and this is Windows 11. So you can see when I open it in Windows 11, it recorded the old time that I had in Windows 10 and gave me the new result. So just by upgrading to Windows 11, I find a 17% improvement in performance. I was trying to understand where is this improvement of performance coming from. We're still researching, trying to understand it, because some other colleagues of mine using different systems weren't able to reproduce it. So maybe take it with a grain of salt. In my case, consistently, I'm getting about 15 to 20% improvement in performance in Windows 11 versus Windows 10 when I'm running this laptop. What about SOLIDWORKS 2022 versus SOLIDWORKS 2023? So I did that last night. 2024, Service Pack 4. You can see it took 5 minutes and 20 seconds to load the assembly. SOLIDWORKS 2023 PR1 took less than 2 minutes. This is out of this world. Remember, in January, I had to wait 8 minutes to open this file, and I'm going now in 1 minute and 48 seconds, fully resolved. What is going on? So on this computer, the improvements is a factor of 3. I'm opening the assembly 3 times faster. I tried also on the 5560, my daily laptop. And I noticed the slower the laptop is, the bigger the differential in improvement. So on that computer, I'm going 4 times faster in 2023 compared to 2022. Why is that? So I asked SOLIDWORKS, what's going on in there? What about graphics? I wasn't expecting any improvement in the graphic performance, in graphic generation time. Well, I am amazed. Another 17% increase, or actually decrease in waiting time. That actually is lag that I'm cutting. And again, same computer, just a new software. Let's see what's going on. This is an enhancement in large assemblies that you're not going to see in the what's new document, because was resulted by fixing a bug or something that was reported as a bug. Clients have complained that for a long time that parts that have imported geometry with lots of bodies and lots of appearances applied to faces are making the assembly slow down. Actually, even the part itself, if you open it on its own, is super slow. I'm seeing that mostly in my clients who are working for automotive companies or in aerospace. They are getting a whole assembly of an engine or of a gearbox or of an AC unit, and the only thing they need to design is the rack that can host those models. The moment they add the imported model, the imported step file in their assembly, everything pretty much stops. You click on something and you wait 20 seconds. Opening times, we're measuring in tens of minutes. I'm not even gonna talk about drawings. And that just because up to SOLIDWORKS 2022, reading face level appearances from multiple body requires SOLIDWORKS to do so many millions of reads. Instead of just simply getting information one from the file, loading in the memory, it will simply go, okay, do I need to paint this face red? Cool. What about the next face? Red, of course. Cool. What about the next face? Red. And do that for tens of thousands of faces. And that slows everything down tremendously. Apparently, 2023 solves this. So I'm not sure if it's actually a bug. Maybe it was a bug. But the result for my clients in the automotive industry is going to feel like the best enhancement that they have ever seen in SOLIDWORKS in the last 20 years. So where are you going to see this improvement in performance? When you're going to open files, when you're going to change configurations, when you're going to apply or remove or modify appearances, or when you are inside the part, if you simply want to roll back or roll forward, or maybe even rebuild a part. You're going to see that. You're going to feel it right away. Fantastic improvement. I'm going to say this should have been the #1 enhancement in the What's New document of 2023. And nobody's going to tell you that. You'll learn about it here at our Global Technology event. Other 2023 large assembly enhancements look like the product definition team at SOLIDWORKS loved the large assembly users. Well, until now, users have to figure out, should I open this assembly in lightweight? Should I open it in resolve mode? Maybe use the large assembly settings. Which one is the best way to open an assembly? And surprise, surprise, it's not lightweight all the time, because the information might be missing. SOLIDWORKS might require reading the same file twice. It's not that easy. Well, SOLIDWORKS 2023 adds another mode that allows SOLIDWORKS to pick which files should be loaded resolved, which one should be loaded lightweight. If you use this automatic mode, you're not even going to see an icon with a feather on the feature tree. For you, everything seems that is going to be loaded resolved. If you use design validation tools, if you use assembly visualization, you're still going to get the information that up to SOLIDWORKS 2022 was impossible to see, right? Because you needed to resolve those components. So we're going to do a bit more research on this mode to see how much time savings our clients are going to see. But notice that you can still manage the resolve and lightweight manually if you so desire. Another enhancement for all assembly users, not just large assembly users. It might be #1 on your list. Hopefully you saw it yesterday. Automatic mate reattachment. Imagine you do something that makes some faces to lose their ID, and now the mates are getting warnings and are getting errors. Or you replace a component with another component, and the geometry is quite different, but the faces are still pretty much in the same position. You still have a hole somewhere, you have a pin that's going through the hole. It's just that they cannot recognize each other. Well, we are using now machine learning to do auto repair. And it's fantastic how well it works. I played with it. I'm looking forward to see it in the assembly course next year. It's working very well. Later on in December or January, when Service Pack 1 is going to become available, the feature also is going to be available as a configuration at part level. You know, we can do that already at the assembly level. Again, you probably saw this piece of functionality yesterday. It's going to be a thing of beauty. Unfortunately, I don't have Service Pack 1 yet, so I haven't had a chance to test it myself. Something spectacular is going to happen to large drawing users. After you upgraded to SOLIDWORKS 2020, many of you got really excited about the new detailing mode that allows you to open any drawing almost instantaneous and be able to add dimensions, to modify dimensions, to add nodes, to remove nodes, to delete drawing views, to even create secondary drawing views like detailing views, break views, crop views. Fantastic tool. Even add markups and open it instantaneous, save it super fast. With a caveat, because this mode works by injecting more intelligence inside the drawing lines. So each drawing line becomes self-sufficient. It doesn't need the assembly to be loaded in the memory, right? For example, if you have a circle, that circle might be related to a hole. So that circle knows not only that it's circular and what diameter it has, but also it knows that belongs to a hole that has a certain depth. So if you put a hole callout on that circle, it's just going to give you the result. Saving that extra information in the drawing file can actually be done quite fast. as long as your drawing views were done in hidden lines removed, hidden lines visible, and they were high quality views. So setting high quality. If you have shaded views, well, in order to color those faces, you need to load the graphic triangles from inside the model. And that will make the view graph quality, meaning that the drawing lines are actually a collection of small, tiny edges of triangles put together. So usually I compare a high quality view to a vectorial picture or a vectorial image, and the graph quality view to a raster image. When you save that much information, trying to make those lines self-sufficient, the saving time in SOLIDWORKS 2020, 2021, and even 2022 took a long time. And sometimes that could have been measured in hours. That's why in SOLIDWORKS 2022, the save model data for detailing mode, it's a document property. So you can have in your templates this unchecked. So any drawing you create is not gonna save the model data, but can be checked for large drawings. Well, good news for 2023 users, and this has been ported back also for SOLIDWORKS 2022 Service Pack 4 users. You're gonna find out that saving times, even if you have graph quality views or shaded views, is gonna be faster than before. What about upgrading the user? Well, it's great that you got a new computer. It's great that you upgraded to SOLIDWORKS 2023. But if you are still using SOLIDWORKS the way you got trained 10 years ago, you're not really benefiting too much from this upgrade. So the solution, especially for large assembly knowledge, is to send your team to the large assembly and drawing workshop. We distilled 15 years of experience and we put everything in that course. And also we're keeping it up to date. Also, you are getting a lot of extra deliverables. We're gonna raise the hood of SOLIDWORKS so you can peek under the hood. You're gonna understand how the software works. So when you make a decision, you know the effect of your decision. You know, okay, I'm doing this, but that's gonna make SOLIDWORKS slower in this area. Or I'm making this and SOLIDWORKS is gonna be faster. The other thing that's probably the most important thing of the course is getting the students to think about the next thing that's in front of them. So I want to do certain thing and I need to open the assembly to get the job done. What's the best tool that I can marry with the task? So marrying the tools and the tasks to be as productive as possible. And you're gonna find out that the improving productivity is not necessarily measured in 10% or 20%. It's not percentage. It's order of magnitude. Like I'm going five times faster. I'm going 10 times faster or even more. And I'm not kidding. You can talk with our former students and you're gonna see that some of them, after taking this course, they told us their life as SOLIDWORKS users has changed. Deliverables. Well, everything we deliver is a live training. So you're gonna have hands-on exercises, you're gonna ask questions, you're gonna participate in brainstorming, the instructor is gonna answer your questions, you're gonna do what-if scenarios. We're gonna record your training sessions and we're gonna make the videos available to you. Moreover, you're gonna say, okay, 16 hours of videos, who's gonna go and watch them? We're not asking you to go back and watch 16 hours worth of videos. But whenever you need a refresher on one topic, you press a button and you're gonna have access to chapters for each topic. So segments of 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, covering various topics. You press a button, it takes you directly to that moment in time. You're also gonna get 500 plus pages PDF, so the whole PowerPoint presentation is gonna be available to you in PDF format. A lot of extra reference material like optimal system settings, tens of articles and videos that are gonna allow you to continue your ramp up in knowledge. A lot of things about imported geometry and working with imported geometry. So please join us. We run this workshop every month, and it's an investment of only 4 half days for you. So overall, it's like 2 days worth of training, but we recognize the fact that everybody needs to learn and then be available for work and maybe even apply what they learned the previous day. So you go, let's say in the afternoon, first afternoon you learn something. Then the next morning you apply it, you actually work on your own projects, and you might come back with extra questions the following day. And we repeat that for 4 sessions. It's a thing of beauty. So looks like this year's the stars aligned. I'm going to repeat that. The hardware is so much better than what we had 2 years or 3 years ago. The software for large assemblies, 2023 provides answers that users were looking for the last decade. And training, there has never been a better time to upgrade your skills and becoming proficient in using these amazing new tools. So I really hope we're gonna see you in our training classes going forward. We still have 5 minutes before the next session. Would you like to see SOLIDWORKS 2023 racing SOLIDWORKS 2022? Well, you are in for a treat. And with that, we are off to the races. On the left side, we have SOLIDWORKS 2022. On the right side, we have SOLIDWORKS 2023 PR1. The first hurdle is actually displaying the assembly, the graphic data saved in the assembly, and looks like SOLIDWORKS 2023 has already done that. I remind you that we are loading this assembly in resolve mode. Look at that, SOLIDWORKS 2022 is trying to catch up. We are recording the screen, so that adds an element of slowdown. Probably we're gonna see a 10-15% decrease in performance. But still, since both horses are hobbled with the same problem, the results are still comparable. SOLIDWORKS 2023 on the right side is in the loading component phase. So 17 components out of 20 have already been loaded. 2022 caught up. The last 3 components are the ones that have the biggest number of surface bodies and face level appearances. You can see we are more than 1 minute in this race. SOLIDWORKS 2023 historically without video recording would open this assembly in about 1 minute and 47, 1 minute and 48 seconds. Right now we have 19 components already loaded. On the right side, looks like 2022 is still slowing down, trying to navigate the 17th component. SOLIDWORKS 2023 is working on the last component. If it can open this component, it goes directly to update assembly and then computing graphics. So we are getting closer. We can see the finish line. 2022 is still there. Look at that. We finished updating components and generating graphics. Let's see the final result. And SOLIDWORKS 2023 has opened the assembly. Well, I'm not gonna ask you to wait longer. I'm gonna speed up the video for SOLIDWORKS 2022 by a factor of 5. Right now, if you're looking at the seconds, they are flying and still is barely moving. It's barely progressing to the next component. 2 more components to load. Come on, SOLIDWORKS 2022 Service Pack 4. Still trying. Remember, we're using the same computer. Both of them are using Windows 11. SOLIDWORKS 2023 is still waiting. Is already took a shower, is ready to get his trophy, and SOLIDWORKS 2022 is still running. Is still on the track. Remember, we sped up the time, the speed of the video by a factor of 5. And now Finally, we are computing the graphics which seemed to take a long time for 2022. We are back in real time, waiting, and is done. So SOLIDWORKS 2023 is a winner by several laps. Remember the first slide of this presentation? In January, I was happy with 8 minutes and 43 seconds. And now, with upgrading the hardware and the software, we got to 1 minute and 48 seconds. No changes. 79% time savings. So one more time, stars and line up. Have fun upgrading your experience in 2023. And with that, I wish you a great day 2 of our global technology event. Enjoy the next sessions.